Hey, first and second graders, happy Monday. We are starting a new series this week. This one is called Let's Take a Road Trip. So, we are going to be talking about a trip that your family is going to go on, and we're going to be using a map a lot. So, we'll get right into it. I'm first going to show you the map that we're going to use. And so, it says we are preparing to take a long road trip from Indiana to Florida. So if you look at this little star on our map, this is where we're going to start. So we're starting right in Indiana. We are going to travel to Kansas, North Dakota, Washington, California, Florida, and then back to Indiana. So we're traveling across the whole nation. Okay, so we are going to be using the miles on this map to solve our problems for this week. We have been working a lot on subtraction, but this week we are going to put it all together, and so we're really going to need to use a close eye to see how we are going to solve each problem. All right, here's our first problem for today. We are still using our RDW method, so we are going to read this problem. We are going to draw using base 10 blocks, and then we'll write our answer. Okay, we're going to do 3 problems today, and then you guys will be good to go on your own. All right, so while I'm reading, be thinking of those good clue words. It says you have to stop every 50 miles to get gas. How many states will you travel to before you have to stop? Okay, so we are starting in Indiana. Once we hit 50 miles, we're going to have to stop. So we first need to start in Indiana. In our first trip to our first state, we are going to go 14 miles, okay? Now I'm thinking once I get to 50, I need to stop. But since I'm only at 14 in Kansas, I can keep going, right? So I'm going to go ahead and keep continuing to North Dakota. So once I get to North Dakota, I will have traveled 14 and 12 miles. So I want to know how many miles total we've traveled once we get to North Dakota. So I'm going to go ahead and write that problem for us. We are first going to start out by doing 14 plus 12, and we need to figure out if we hit 50 or not. Okay, so we're going to start by making our base 10 blocks. So first I'm going to go ahead and make our 14. So 14 is made up of 1 10 and 4 1s. So I'm going to make 1 long and 4 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to add 12, so we're going to add 1 10 and 2 1s. So 1 10 and 2 1s. And then we can just count them up. This drawing makes it really easy to find our answer. So we have 1 10, 2 10s, so that's 20. And we have 1, so we have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So 14 plus 12 is 26. And so when I get to North Dakota, I will be at 26 miles. Now, thinking back to my problem, I don't have to stop until I get to 50, and so I can keep going. So after I go to North Dakota, I'm on my way to Washington, and I will have gone 22 miles. So I'm going to go ahead and add 22 miles to my 26. So we're going to do 26 plus 22. And since we already have 26 on our drawing, I'm going to go ahead and add our 22 to our drawing. So we'll be adding 2 10s and 2 1s. 1 2 and then 1 2, and then we'll count them up. So we have 1 2 3 4 10s, that's 40. Then we have 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So once we've gotten to Washington, we will have gone 48 miles. Now, I know that if I count on from 48, I only need 2 more miles to get to 50, and my journey from Washington to California takes 17 miles. So I know if I went 2 more miles, I would probably end up around here on the journey. And so I can go ahead and stop there, and I can see that I've gone to 1, 2, 3 states. And that's going to be my answer since I'm going to have to stop after Washington. So I'll travel to 3 states before we have to stop and get gas. Okay, so that problem, we ended up doing only addition, and we just kept adding on parts of the journey until we got to 50. Okay, so now we are going to read this next one, and we are going to think about what this problem is asking us to do. So this one says, your mom thinks it will take longer to get from Kansas to Washington. I'm going to go ahead and mark that on our map. So Kansas, and then here to Washington. That's what she thinks. And then your dad thinks it will take longer to get from North Dakota, so here, to California. It says who is correct. Okay, so both of them think that going to two states is going to take longer than the other. So we're going to start just with Mom and see how long her trip would be. So she starts in Kansas and goes to Washington, and she thinks this is longer. So we want to know how long this journey is. So it looks like we need to add 12 miles plus 22 miles. So I'm going to write, I'll write hers in red to match the map. 12 plus 22. So we can go ahead and do that. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and draw my base 10 blocks. So to make 12, we need 1 10 and 2 1s. And then to add 22, we need 2 10s and 2 1s. 1, 2, and then we add them up. So we have 1, 2, 3 10s, so that's 30. And then we have 1s, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, so her journey is 34 miles, and we are going to compare that to what the dad thinks the longer journey is. So he was going from North Dakota to California. So he thinks 22 plus 17 is going to be longer. I guess I was trying to match the map. Let me try that again. So 22 plus 17 will make his picture. So again, just like this 22, we need 2 10s, 2 1s. And then we need to add 17, which is 1 10 and 7 1s. So 1 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we count them up. We have 1, 2, 3 10s. So that's 30. Then we have 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 miles. So those are the lengths of the two distances that they guessed. Now, when it says who is correct, who had the longer journey? 34 or 39. 39 is bigger than 34, and so the dad had the correct guess. So we'll go ahead and write our answer is dad. Okay, their answers weren't off by much, but we want to know the difference between the lengths of the mom's and the dad's guesses. So if we look back, their guesses were 39 and 34. I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture, even though you guys could probably write on if you wanted, or count on if you wanted. We had 39. We're going to start by representing that number, and 39 is made of 3 10s and then 9 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we are taking away 34. So I'm going to start with the 1s. I'm going to take away 4 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm going to write it this way too. And so the 1s we would have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. 9 minus 4 is 5. And then we need to take away 3 10s. So 1, 2, 3. We would have no 10s left, and so our answer would be 5 miles. That's the difference between their two guesses. Okay. All right, so we are all done with our road trip map today. You guys are going to use our road trip map to solve your 2 questions on Canvas, so make sure you see that on there. All right, and we will see you on Wednesday.